we have much fewer callers than we had at the beginning of the call, but we still have quite a few of us. So I'm going to go through and ask these couple of poll questions, and then we'll those of us who can will stay on, and we can continue to have some discussion. All right. So the question is if you have been distributing any merchandise like bumper stickers, window signs, T-shirts, if you've been buying things from the campaign and giving them away or asking for donations, press 1. If you've been buying items from volunteers who are printing them at a cheaper cost and then giving them away or asking for donations, you can press 2. That's, again, if you've been buying items from volunteers who print them themselves and then give them away or ask for donations, press 2. It looks like we've got 12 people been doing that. We had 8 people buying items from the campaign. Actually, we had some people doing both, so we had about 10, 12 people doing that. And then press 3 if you have been creating items yourselves and giving them away. Looks like we've got about a dozen folks doing that as well, 14 now. And then press 4 if you have been creating items yourselves and asking for donations. And then press 5 if you have been creating items yourselves and selling them. And, at this point we're down to about, looks like about 70 people on the call. If you have been distributing flyers, how have you printed them? 1, individuals have been using your home or office printers for small batches. Press 1 if you've been printing flyers that way. Press 2 if you have paid for large orders with a print shop. 3 if a group has paid for large orders to share. Press 4 if you have gotten flyers or print services donated from a local business. All right, cool. And then now this is the actual last poll question. Again, we'll get to the FEC issue. So if you have been concerned about compliance with FEC regulations, we were curious to hear folks about this. It looks like we have a couple of people have been working to get into compliance, and it looks like we have one person says that they have found, 3 people say they have been researching the law and found a solution that works well for them. All right, really useful information there.
It was the end of our speakers, and we're going to just be open to general discussion. So I was wondering if we could discuss that, because I did ask our regional speakers to say their biggest challenge, and I didn't even, answer it myself, but I think our biggest challenge really is materials, because the campaign, I think, as everybody knows, runs out of materials. There's long wait times to get materials, and the materials are very expensive. And it doesn't look like the campaign is willing to reimburse us for the expenses that we've been going out of pocket. And I think the groups like Los Angeles and the Bay Area that are starting PACs are doing so because we've reached our limit. So I'd like to have a general discussion with anyone who feels they can maybe come up with some innovative solutions that are working for them that maybe we can all lean to, because I don't really see everybody having the resources to start their own PAC. It's taken us basically a month to research it. We have a volunteer lawyer, a volunteer accountant, and there's a lot of paperwork that has to go through, and it seems like it shouldn't be this hard.
All right, thanks, Lauren. Yeah, so if anybody has any responses on this point, you can press 1. We're going to stay on for a little while longer for general discussion. We have a few hands up, and if you have questions on other issues for any of the speakers, you can feel free to ask those too, and we'll try and get that before folks drop off the call. So we're going to. Looks like we've got 7 hands so far. I'll try to get all of those folks at least. We're up to 10 already. So yeah, we'll go as fast as we can through these. And Terrence, we're going to start with you. You got the mic.
For having me on. I kind of have to go through it kind of quick here. I also work closely with Bernie Sanders, Bernie TV, 2016. Real quick, I kind of would like to get everybody at some point to go to BernieSandersVideo.com. When it comes to the FCC rules, we've went through and step by step shown what you have to do, what the issues are, and kind of highlighted where people have been making mistakes. If you guys get a chance to go there, there's the events information, pretty much everything you need in one step. It's a real useful website there. So just again, BernieSandersVideo.com, real easy to remember, but it's like your one-stop shop for information if you guys get a chance to go there. I'm an activist. Our specialty is social media. I own a software company here in Wellington. I'm an American, but I live overseas. We're running about 30 of the Bernie Sanders sites. Some of them real popular. We got about 40,000 people going at the moment. I'd like at some point to get a hold of Michelle if she's listening, if she can give me a quick email, activeappslimited at gmail.com. Just send me an email and we can kind of work on some of the social media stuff. On the other side, earlier in the conversation, somebody had kind of said, what do I do to approach African American communities and all that? I too am African American. I would say use some of the things that we have to our benefit. If you're on a chat room, if you're on a Facebook site, if you're on a Twitter account, contact them through that. It does sometimes take a little bit of the pressure away, and it allows you to kind of connect with somebody first so that they know you before you show up to a meeting. You know, before you show up to a church group, you've already got contacts. Hey, Eric, how's it going? You know them on a personal level. On another note, I would say always ask a question before you give an answer. So when you walk up and you talk to somebody that's in the African American community, you may think you know what the issues are. Ask them what they think the issues are to them, and then reply with what Bernie's doing. And that gives you a better, you're not telling people what to think. You're not telling people what to do. You're asking them what to do and then giving them the answer. I'll yield after that. Like I said, please send me a text if you guys email. If you guys want any kind of information on how to run a social media advertising campaign. That's it. I yield my time. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Terrence. Next we've got Susan. Susan, you got the mic. I'm going to give folks 45 seconds here and give you a gong just so you know how long you've been talking.
Okay. We're kind of working around the FEC rules. We've been hand silk screening T-shirts and donating them away, and we've had flyers and bumper stickers. We're just rotating with people in our loose-knit Facebook group, 2 purchases each. So that's keeping us under the minimum so far, but we're getting real close to what we should report. So we're on do we stop doing this or continue? So that was a workaround for us, unless we find more people to keep getting stuff. So we don't know how it counts, what's considered a group, or where in the legalities we fall in that area. As far
Susan, what group are you in?
North Staters for Bernie. We're up in the Chico area. We've got a huge area. We've got subgroups under us. There's subgroups. I've got groups started at the 2 colleges, the 2 high schools. We have outlying smaller towns. So we're kind of splitting who's getting what so far. But we've been having great success with outreach at the farmers market. We've got like 250 people on our volunteer list, 800 people on our Facebook group. I'm starting voter registration training tomorrow. We're starting. I mean, not starting. We've been spreading the roots out. They're spreading.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
So yeah, I'm going to look at the videos, but we did ask around for somebody to maybe form a pack, and nobody really wanted to volunteer because our area is so large. It goes from like Reading down to Gridley, Live Oak.
All right.
If we're
Thanks,
looking
Susan.
at doing Congressional District number 1.
We're going to go next to Jeromey. Jeromey, you got the mic.
Hi, this is Jeromey Shafer. I'm organizing out of San Leandro in the Bay Area. And one of the things that I've looked at doing, I basically spent money out of pocket, and am kind of reaching a threshold where I can't really spend much more. But given that the FEC rules allow for unlimited contributions by individuals, I think I'm okay there. I do have to report those, so that's going to be a little bit of a paperwork to do that. But the main thing that I'm looking at doing is, from what I can tell in my research, having a actual company, or a sole proprietorship or whatever, a company, you can sell stuff at cost, and there's no FEC regulation over that. They have an FAQ that says, if I own a bakery, can I sell bread? And they say if you sell it under cost, that's an in-kind donation. But if you sell it at cost, then it's you're allowed to do that. From my understanding, and I'm still trying to research and understand this. So anybody who wants to speak on that, I think that might be a good workaround to being able to produce stuff, sell it, produce stuff on large quantities, pay for a nice printer. I went out and bought a nice printer. It's part of the company, starting a button company, So that's how I'm kind of framing to try to resolve some of this, so I can spread out materials far and wide and just start producing a lot of stuff and get it out to all you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy.
Jim Perkins has his hand up. He's volunteer lawyer for the Political Revolution PAC, and I know that he's researched about starting a company, so maybe he wants to address that.
Hi, it's Jim. So the research that I did do is a little different than that, Lauren, in the sense that the FEC has been very clear that there's been a lot of entrepreneurial activity around presidential campaigns going back to the beginning of the country, actually. People sell medallions, or they sell, caps or T-shirts, of course, now. But they're doing that as a for-profit business. And that activity really is not regulated by the FEC. If you're in business to make money and you're selling a product to people in an entrepreneurial fashion, it's not regulated. It's when you are more of doing something with the candidate, independent of the profit motive that they come. I'm not sure that really addresses his question, but that was certainly one advisory opinion that's out there. The reason I had my hand up was you were taking a survey of what had happened, and Lauren, I know that you're very interested in what other people are doing, so I just weighed in with what we have been doing, which I know you're almost sick of hearing about it, right? So what we did in LA was we set up an independent Revolution Cooperative PAC Inc., which sell merchandise, and we really haven't formed a lot of a plan about where the proceeds, sell is not the right word, offer merchandise in exchange for a donation, and we really haven't formed a great plan about what to do with the proceeds yet. Among other things, we don't know how much proceeds we're going to have. I think that in the end, while we have to be separate legally from LA for Bernie, obviously the people in the PRC PAC and the people in LA for Bernie have similar aims and goals. And I would hope that there's a sense that while we cannot coordinate, it ends up that we have a symbiotic relationship. So I don't know if you have any more specific question that you want me to address to the group, Lauren.
Well, I mean, this is something that we talked about, like people that are in the PAC can produce their own flyers for, just like they're going to be producing their own merchandise, and because they're following the activities of Los Angeles for Bernie through our social media pages, they know that we're going to be at this event and that event, and they can come and they can independently sell merchandise, and the merchandise, has Bernie Sanders on it. And then the question is about the flyers, which I still haven't figured out with you. Can the flyers say Los Angeles for Bernie, or can they just say, for more information, go to the Political Revolution PAC? This is the only question I don't understand.
Yeah, right now I'm not comfortable saying that we could print flyers that say Los Angeles for Bernie, although, as I promised you last night, I'm not giving up on it. But, if you're asking me to give you a hard answer today, the cautious lawyer in me would say, let's don't do it today. So I'm still working on that. The thing is, yes, the PAC can print up flyers and pass them out or give them away. You could use them or not use them as you desire. But I'm fairly certain the PAC is comfortable that printing flyers is political expenditure. And so, they probably at some point are going to do that. Again, it's very difficult to talk about what our plans are because we got kind of tied up in some corporate law issues that really were not political campaign issues, and I don't think anybody wants to be bored with. But we are up and running now, and we will be moving very quickly in the next couple of weeks to experience and resolve issues that are of interest to a lot of people on this call, I'm sure.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Lauren. That's a useful conversation. I'm sure we'll continue. We've got a few more people who have hands up. I want to make sure we get to everybody, so I'm just going to keep going down the list. James in LA, you got the mic.
Hi, this is James Roguski. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'll keep it short, and I'd like to make everyone on the phone an offer. Thank you, Terrence, if you're still in line, for giving me a shout-out. I'm the webmaster for BernieSandersVideo.com and also PresidentBernieSanders.org. I'm an optimist, and I'm sure that's going to be a very valuable website. I'm going to be happy to give it to him when he's in office. We're not working just to get Bernie elected. We're organizing the entire country according to congressional district. We've organized everything by state. You may or may not be familiar with California.BernieSandersVideo.com. The offer I would like to make everybody, and I know many people have dropped off, is go to BernieSandersVideo.com. My phone number is at the top. You can contact me on the top just below that. Every evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Pacific time, I do a conference call, question and answers. I don't know everything, but I do have very encyclopedic knowledge of what's going on all over the country because we are focused nationwide. And so anybody can call in. They can call me anytime. They can contact me anytime. And our website is your website. So what I heard today was a lot of wonderful people talking really fast, and I would like to ask everyone to just say, look, the information that you would like to display on our website about your groups, just get it to me and we'll put it where it belongs so people can find you. And that's the whole purpose of what we're doing. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of issue-based Bernie Sanders video. And if you understand the simplicity of the website, you use it as a tool to explain things to people because not everybody knows all of the details and nobody does as good a job of explaining things as Bernie does, okay? But the whole point of that is to bring people in and connect them to the people on the ground in your neighborhood. So call me, take advantage of all of this, give me your information, and I'll be happy to put it up on our site for everyone to see what's going on. And there's a page on FEC, and I know I got the bong, but we've dealt with the FEC regulations, and we have flyers that are compliant, so forth and so on. Just get with me, call me anytime, and I'll be happy to help you.
All right. Thanks, James. Very cool. Heidi, you have got the mic, or you will as soon as my computer registers that I clicked on your name. Or maybe Kaylee or Lauren or Rick can jump on and do that.
Hi.
There you go.
Let me know You can hear me now? Okay, great. Well, I just really very much, my name is Heidi, and I very much appreciate the discussion about the materials and about the FEC and taking a look at the different, how to go about this. And I hope to hear more from Jim, and perhaps I can talk to him later, and then I will definitely look at what James has also. So anyway, that was my thing. I just wanted to say I really want more, and it would be really wonderful to really be able to talk to somebody who is a seasoned attorney with federal finance stuff, because that's what I've been doing. It's a lot of work to research this stuff, and it would be great if there's already somebody who's already done this and can just spit it out and give us a lot of confidence in the directions we go. So that's it. I thank you very much for everything. This has been a fantastic call.
Thanks, Heidi.
And you're welcome.
All right, next we got Donald. Donald, you got the mic.
Right, I'm Donald Murcell in Sorrento, Florida. I'm just going to follow up James' statement. I sent the Federal Election Commission regulations to Lauren Steiner, and I posted it also on the comments. Now, this is a complete, easy to read, easy as you can get, easy to read collection of all the stuff you need on FEC Commission regulations. Another place I'd like you to go is Bernie Sanders for President 216. It's the Apple group. We started, and we have almost 60,000 members, and it's going up like crazy. We post it there. We post all of James' stuff. His website, I can't emphasize. You need his website, or else you're missing everything. Because we are developing a whole system throughout the country, in every area, Black Lives Matter, congressional districts. So it's in Lauren Steiner's inbox, and that's just all I wanted to say. Get that website. That is the key.
All right. Thanks much. Pat in the Bay Area, you got the mic.
Hi. I first want to say I punched in the wrong number. I am in Sonoma County along with Gretchen. We're in a really small town, Cloverdale. Yeah. We're in a really small town, Cloverdale, and I've been on campaigns before where we've had trouble getting materials, so I'm the one that's been sort of trying to figure this out. And I too would really appreciate, I was hoping that I really appreciate the whole conference call. I appreciate the time you're spending now on this issue, because I think it's really critical. I think a lot of people, I worry that in the end when Bernie gets on the radar, of the attack groups and stuff, that he's going to get hammered if we're not on top of this. And so if somebody could, get a lawyer who's experienced and could share with the other groups, because apparently there's a wall between the PACs and the groups now that can't be crossed. And so, but we groups really need some guidance. I called the FEC has an information line. I called them this morning. It still isn't clear to me. They didn't seem to really understand how to deal with grassroots groups themselves. And there's like $250 thresholds for, individuals, and individuals, if they buy stuff, then give it to the group to share. They have to report separately on their own, to the FEC. It's really complicated. She said that part of it, the complication is that the laws were written for campaigns, not for grassroots. So we really, really need some help here. And I'm going to go to that website, and hopefully a lot of answers are there. But if somebody in this group, larger Bay Area, LA, who can find that out from a lawyer who's experienced and share it with us, that would be ideal.
Awesome. Thanks, Pat. And definitely I know folks will be working on that before the next call, and hopefully there'll be some more guidance from some of the legals out there. All right, next let's move to Michael. Michael in the Central Valley, you got the mic.
Yes, hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, Mike Jennings here, here in Bakersfield, a longtime United Food and Commercial Workers member. Worked campaigns ever since Big Strike down in L.A. in '03. My question is on voter rolls. Now, I heard a lot about, the SEC rules on, flyers and materials and things. I'd like to get my hands on some voter rolls so we can go start knocking doors and get some voter reg going. Also with that, I'd like to add, I've heard some folks talk about congressional races. Very much so. Any precinct that I'd be walking in or any volunteers would encourage folks to be walking in battleground areas where we can win these congressionals.
This is Lauren. I don't know if Anna's still on the call. Oh, it looks like you're on the call, Anna. I wanted to ask you after your section, is this something that other groups can roll out, your 100 door knocks thing? And also, how does this jibe with how the campaign wants to handle canvassing?
I was unmuting and myself, so can you just say the last part one more time, please?
I wanted to know if other groups, like the fellow who just spoke, could roll out your door knocking program, and also how this jibes with does the campaign have an idea of what kind of canvassing program they want to use? I know with phone banking, they told me they're going to be using the VAN system, and they have a very specific idea how they want it done. So I was wondering if you had spoken with the campaign as to if there was a system they were using for canvassing, or if this is just fine for us to do this since it sounds so organized.
Well, we are very organized, and we are a political action committee. So I wouldn't be working with the campaign specifically. I might call them to ask them a question about a flyer they have on their website. But so no, we would not be coordinating with the Bernie campaign. However, what we're doing is the same thing that we've done for local campaigns and state campaigns. And we just, our idea is that, for progressives to really win, we need to organize in this way, not just for Bernie and not just for, whatever it is that we're passionate about. It needs to be ongoing. So that's kind of how we've organized ourselves, and that's why it's 100 doors, because it's very bite-sized, and people can do it a couple of times a year, and it's not like this huge effort that just, people can't do. So more specifically to your question is other groups can certainly do it. The thing that it's easy. You have a flyer. You make an easy script of whatever it is you want to talk to people about. The thing is having some kind of a place to. We have a database where we're able to print out, and people that have done campaigns, this, but. The trick is to be able to have some kind of a walk list that you can give folks, if you want to do it the way we're doing it, that you can give folks a list of registered voters in their neighborhood, so then they can just do that in a few afternoons. They can it's standard campaign door-to-door canvassing for any kind of door-to-door canvassing. What's different about us is that we're not just the one campaign, and the other thing that's different is that we break it down into little bite-sized, people can take on 100 doors and, they can do it. So I'm not sure if I'm totally answering your question, but that's my response. And if you have a follow-up, I'll be happy.
Does the person who asked the question have a follow-up?
Yes, actually, I was wondering, there's also other places I've seen where you can get voter rolls for free. I mean, beyond the materials and everything else, without pulling the super PAC and everything like that.
Well,
you probably,
Go for it. I was just going to say you can always get the voter roll from your local board of elections.
That's correct. So it is doable, absolutely.
Okay, without getting
the format of that is not usually as useful, except on the unless you're focusing on a small area. It tends to be pretty unwieldy because you just get it in paper form.
Right. No, okay. Right. That's fine. I was understanding.
People need to do it on paper form.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, that is definitely one way to do it. But again, it sounds like there'll be more coming out in that in the next few weeks and months, and I'm sure once the campaign gets on the ground, they will have a much more sophisticated system that volunteers can tap into. All right, next we're going to go to Grace Riley. Grace, you got the mic.
Hi, this is actually Lucy Riley calling from Richmond, California. Javanka Beckles has signed on to a Say Her Name march with us. She's very busy tonight. I'm sure she would have loved to have been on this conference call as well. So I am a member of California Nursing Association. I'm an ICU nurse here in the Bay Area. We represent 78,000 nurses statewide in the state of California that are under a nursing contract. Our parent union, National Nurses United, is almost 200,000 nurses nationwide. We were right behind the communication workers to endorse Bernie, and we're very excited about this campaign. I would like to encourage everyone on the conference call to write down this website, nationalnursesunited.org. Please go on and check out our Vote Nurses Values campaign. We have a hashtag, which is hashtag nurses4, and that's the number 4, Bernie. Bernie has been working with us for quite some time on legislation for a national nurses ratio law, as well as Medicare for all. We are presently discussing ground game strategy in the Bay Area and California at large. We will probably be trying to plug our nurses into regional campaigns that are already up and running. Part of my interest in being part of Bay Area for Bernie and organizing with a Bay Area for Bernie has been to set this infrastructure up for our nurses to plug in very soon. So we've got quite the campaign war chest to pull from. So some of the cost for printing could possibly be defrayed for some of our local grassroots organizations that are trying to get literature out in this first phase of the campaign, which is really about name recognition. So thanks so much for allowing me to talk on the conference call, and we're looking forward to working with California for Bernie.
All right, thanks, Grace. Awesome.
No, that's Lucy.
Oh, sorry, Lucy. Not bad. Thanks. All right, we've got just a few more hands up, and some of them you've heard from already. Yolanda, your hand's been up. I'm going to give you the mic. Go for it.
Well, I just want to make a general comment. I don't know about the efficacy of like using paper anymore. We're trying to go into a paperless world. We're trying to be earth friendly, and really at the end of the day, Bernie's message is about building relationships, people talking to people, the door-to-door canvassing, getting out there to swap meets, getting out there to car shows, whatever it is you need to do. Because I know that being here at the LA County Fair, that's what we did. We built relationships. We weren't arbitrarily throwing flyers in people's hands or wasting paper. We were, strategic about it. If someone was really interested in this, then we said, here's the one that you need to look at, and here's what you need to put. So I think we need to look at this more as like, let me run off 1,000 flyers and let me hand them out to, No, I think we need to be very strategic in our use of resources, and I think we need to think about the impression that we leave with people. When you've had a positive conversation with someone and they walk away saying, man, I'm seriously thinking about Bernie now because of this conversation I had with this amazing person. So I think the passion that we feel and all that, we need to really personalize this campaign and make it as real as Bernie is.
Awesome, Yolanda. Definitely. Point taken. And you got some twos on that. Some people who are familiar with the system know that we, on Interaction calls, we often press 2 if you agree with what the person says. So some people echo that. All right, Leslie, you have got the mic. Go for it.
Okay. I had a question about all the resources that were mentioned on this call. Is this being recorded, or is there a website we can go to that will have all this information on it?
Great question. The call is recorded. We'll be able to go through it, and maybe if there's a volunteer who would like to take out the finer points. Some people were taking notes, but we do have to. We will have to get this all collated in one place. But the call will be made available.
Is there a place to go?
That's a great question. Lauren, Kaylee, any of you guys in Cali got an answer for that?
Well, Interoccupy asked me if we wanted to start a hub for this call, and I said no right at first. We can always start one later. But, basically we've been using the Facebook pages to get the word out about this call. We did not put it on Bernie Sanders' website because we didn't think we would have the capacity. And this first call is really mostly for organizers rather than for general volunteers. But I really wanted to do, I know that we only have 35 people left, but I'd like to get a sense of whether people want to see this call be monthly. And then my second question is, could we get volunteers from a couple of other groups? It shouldn't always be like the two big cities, planning this. We worked pretty closely, the three groups, and maybe if we could get 3 other groups to volunteer to plan the next call.
Is there some place a central place that's going to have this information and where we can also communicate with each other? Facebook pages doesn't help me.
Actually, no. So that's what we want to do next is start getting more organized. I think, whether we want to make a Facebook page that's for statewide grassroots organizing or something like that. Basically, as of now, there is no central place for this.
Okay.
For a call like this.
How many people want to see this call be monthly?
All right, great. Well, let's just maybe we'll send an email around to the folks who planned this call and the folks who volunteered for the next call, and we will, and that can be up to that group, however much more they want to look ahead. But it looks like we've got, 8 people volunteered, which is excellent. I'm happy to help again on the tech side. And, this has been a really inspirational call for me, I'll tell you that. You guys are doing unbelievable work out there, and it's really, really inspirational. This is I think California's ahead of the curve. There's no doubt in my mind, certainly compared to some of the other states that I've been helping to organize. This is really, really quite amazing. I'm losing my voice, as you can hear. I want to personally thank everybody. Thank the other organizers of this call, Lauren and Kaylee and Rick, and all of the speakers. You guys are really doing amazing, unbelievable work. All right, so I got all that information. I'm going to go ahead and open everybody's mic, and maybe we can all, on the count of 3, give a feel the burn, and then everybody can say goodnight. So, 1, 2, no.
Feel the burn. Feel the burn.